अब अपने नेक्स्ट स्टार्ट करते हैं प्लांट सेल एंड टिश्यू कल्चर। बायोटेक्नोलॉजी का पार्ट हमने पहला देख लिया है कि डेफिनेशन से रिलेटेड, एप्लीकेशन से रिलेटेड, स्कोप एंड इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ बायोटेक्नोलॉजी से रिलेटेड। अब जो ये नेक्स्ट पार्ट है ये बताएगा आपको कि बायोटेक्नोलॉजी आप कैसे इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं, हाउ यू कैन इम्प्लीमेंट बायोटेक्नोलॉजी। कौन कौन सी प्रिकॉशनरी मेजर्स हैं जो कि बायोटेक्नोलॉजी में आपको यूज करनी है, कौन कौन सी ऐसी टेक्निक्स हैं जो कि आप बायोटेक्नोलॉजी शुरू करने से पहले या बायोटेक्नोलॉजिकल एप्लीकेशन यूज करने से पहले करेंगे। टेक्निक्स हम देखेंगे, मेथड्स देखेंगे बायोटेक्नोलॉजी से रिलेटेड। ठीक है, तो इट विल कम अंडर प्लांट सेल एंड टिश्यू कल्चर। सो plant cell and tissue culture is a technique of growing cells, tissues or organs in sterilized nutrient media under control aseptic condition. You have to remember one word which is nutrient media. I will say two words: nutrient medium. Without a nutrient medium you cannot initiate a culture, either it is of a cell culture, either it is related with the tissue culture. So plant cell and tissue culture is a technique of growing cells, tissue or organs in sterilized nutrient medium under control aseptic condition. We will discuss what is sterilization. As you are seeing, sterilization. This term is generally used in clinical labs. A testing lab has use different types of needles, glasswares, and they are sterilized in hot water. What is sterilization? What are the different types of sterilization? It is an important questions related with your exam. ठीक है, next, the plant part which is to culture is called as explant. Explant, it is a question of 2 marks. What is explant? Plant part to be cultured. A plant have a different parts. Either it may be a root, either it may be a stem, either it may be a leaf, or either it may be a flower. So the plant part which you are using for culture is called as explant, and the technique is based on a unique property of the cell which is called as totipotency. If I segregate or separate toti and potency, potency means ability and toti means ability to form a new plant. ठीक है, I will discuss in coming part. Now, what are the historical developments of plants and tissue culture? Here you will see the name of the scientist and their contribution to biotechnology. First one is Haberland, or you can say Gottlieb Haberland. You can only remember Haberland also. He was a German botanist and gave the idea that every cell is totipotent, that is capable of giving rise to an entire new plant. So what is totipotency? It is the ability to give rise to an entirely new plant. Potency means ability, and ability to form a new plant. It is an important question of 2 marks. Okay, these are also some of the contribution, but for our uses, you will see in 1939, 3 scientists, R. Gothard, P. Nobicot and P. R. White, they were successful in raising callus culture. What is a callus? I will discuss, but you can remember it is an undifferentiated mass of cell. Undifferentiated. Undifferentiated means which is not differentiated. So it is a mass of cell which is undifferentiated, and callus culture also require nutrient medium. Always remember, biotechnology is initiated, it will begin by the involvement of a medium, by the involvement of a nutrient medium. It is very important that you should have a nutrient medium for cell or tissue culture. Next, Morel and Martin. Certain tissues, meristematic tissues, have the capacity to develop whole plants in vitro. These scientists explained the role of meristematic tissues. Meristematic tissues means, or tissue means, it is a group of cells. Meristematic means which can continuously divide to form new cells. And these scientists observed that meristematic tissues have the capacity to develop whole plant in vitro. This is an important term for biotechnologists. In vitro. Vitro means glass. In glass means you are culturing any plant part in a glassware, in a test tube, in a beaker, in a conical flask. So in vitro means in glass. Next scientist is Skoog and Miller. They have an important role in biotechnology. They performed many tissue culture experiments using different proportion of phytohormones, auxins and cytokinins. These both scientists, they initiated tissue culture experiments, and they have used phytohormones, auxins and cytokinins for the cell and tissue culture. These scientists also explained the role of different phytohormones in cellular differentiation. You have studied in previous lectures auxins, gibberellins, cytokinins, abscisic acid, ethylene. Some of these phytohormones are growth promoter and some are growth retarder, means which inhibit the growth. And some of these phytohormones are used for culturing experiments. Next, now we will come to this page, and this scientist Guha and Maheshri, these are also the scientists which has done a lot of work in biotechnology. They have done their experiment on Datura. Species is Datura inoxia. I am discussing this every points because it will be important for your competitive exams. Datura inoxia in a medium containing kinetin. So cytokinin hormone is used. Kinetin, also called as cytokinin. They have also used the medium coconut milk or grape juice for the formation of numerous embryos. So these are some of the scientists who have contributed their role, yeah, they have contribution in biotechnology. Now a small part we will discuss about cellular totipotency. It can come as a short mode. The third line is important regarding this. It is the ability, potency means ability or capability or capacity of a cell to give rise to a complete plant when cultured in a suitable culture medium at appropriate temperature and aeration condition. I have said कि nutrient medium is essential for biotechnology. For a culturing cell and tissue, you have to use the nutrient medium. You have to use an appropriate temperature for culturing. You have to use aeration. Aeration is required for cell and tissue culture. Have you got my point? And these are all related with a medium, culture medium. And if a plant part or if a cell is placed in such medium, then it will give rise to a complete plant. It will give rise to a complete plant. So it is cellular totipotency. These are also the requirement. These are also the requirement, and it is also a requirement. These 3 to 4 are requirements for biotechnology. Next. Now, in next paragraph, it is explained about de-differentiation and re-differentiation. Re means dobara, and de-differentiation. D means elimination. You have heard about dehydration. Dehydration means removal of water. So the plant cells are unique in having the property of de-differentiation and re-differentiation. Plant cell have the ability to de-differentiate and re-differentiate. When a piece of differentiated tissue is cultured on a nutrient medium, if a tissue is cultured on a nutrient medium, which is requirement of biotechnology, the mature and non-dividing cells undergo certain changes to transform into meristematic cell. And this phenomena of transformation of mature cell to meristematic cell leads to the formation of callus, and it is called as de-differentiation. So in this 4 line, we are using a tissue, we are using a nutrient medium on which the tissue is cultured. The mature cells undergo certain changes to transform into meristematic cells, okay, and this conversion of mature cells to meristematic cells is called as callus. You can also describe callus as undifferentiated mass of cell. Callus can also be defined as undifferentiated mass of cells. Okay, it is a very simple definition, and this callus term is important for 2 marks. Okay, now component cells of the callus. Now this callus form the whole plant, and it is called as re-differentiation. It will develop into a new plant. So the important question for this is, what is a callus and what is the role of callus, how callus is produced by dedifferentiation and how it forms a new plant by redifferentiation. Have you got my point? Next, what are the techniques of in vitro culture? It is a long question and you have to give a answer in 10 to 15 lines. Now, what is in vitro? As I have explained, in vitro means in glass. So in vitro, it means in glass. That means a biological process which is being performed experimentally outside the cell or organism. It is very clear that you are culturing a plant or a plant part in a glass. Okay, so the culturing is initiated, has begun outside the cell or tissue or the organism. Okay. Now, in vitro culture lab, what are the requirements of a in vitro culture labs? A science lab should have everything from a needle to a glassware to a spirit lamp. It is very important. But for biotechnology, some of the instruments or equipments like autoclave, it is very necessary. Autoclave is similar to pressure cooker. Now, what are the requirements for in vitro culture lab? Washing, drying and storage of glasswares and vessels. There should be appropriate space for washing, for drying and for storage of glasswares. Glasswares, it may include, as it is written in, petri dish, test tubes, flask, beakers. Next, in vitro culture lab requirement is preparation, sterilization and storage of nutrient media. Nutrient medium is important because it helps in the culture of cell or tissue. So, preparation, sterilization and storage of nutrient media is also required. Handling of explants, their cleaning and culturing. Okay, explant, you have learned about that. It is a plant part which is to be cultured. So it should be cleaned and easily cultured. Next, fourth point is proper maintenance of cultures and their observations. It is very important. You should have a continuous visualization on the culture. If you are not visualizing the culture, it may contaminate. So there should be proper maintenance of culture and their observation. You should observe continuously after alternate days to study the culture. Next, this line is very important. It is advantageous to have two separate rooms inside the laboratory. Biotechnology lab should have two rooms. One for preparation, sterilization and storage of media. That is the media room. Media term is used for television, for entertainment, for news channels, and media term is also used for biotechnology, media room. So this media room will help for preparation, sterilization and storage of media, and another for culturing and maintenance of cultures, which is called as culture room. Culture room involves maintenance of culture. It is a area, it is a room where no contamination is allowed. ठीक है. This in vitro culture lab also required refrigerators. Refrigerator is required. Balance, pH meter, stirrer, incubator, deep freeze, and autoclave. It is an important question for your exam. What is the working of autoclave? What is the use of autoclave? It is just like a pressure cooker. Next. Now we will discuss about culture vessels and their washing. ठीक है, it is requirement for in vitro culture lab. First line is glass vessels made of borosilicate or Pyrex glasses in the laboratory. You should use glasswares which are resistant to direct heating, which are not easily broken, and it will be of borosilicate or Pyrex glasses. Okay. Third line. Conical flasks are generally used for macro culture. Macro means large scale, means culturing of callus, embryo and plantlet. Whereas petri dish and glass slides are used for micro culture, means culturing of cells or protoplast. So in macro cultures, plantlet, embryo and callus are used, while in microcultures, cells or protoplast are used. Next paragraph. The mouth of culture tubes and flasks are generally stopped with cotton plug to eliminate any chances of contamination as well as to maintain proper aeration. The important point is cotton plugs. Cotton can be used to stop the contamination of glasswares of the culture. Cotton plugs can be put up on the top of the conical flask or the glasswares. It will reduce the contamination level and it will also maintain proper aeration. Okay. Now, the glass vessel should be kept inside a hot air oven at 80 degrees Celsius for proper drying. There should be no moisture in the glasswares. There should be no moisture because moisture can destroy the culture. So it should be properly dried in an oven in an hot air, or you can place in the sunlight also. Next, sterilization. See, microorganisms are universally present. Microorganisms are present everywhere. In our body, E. coli are found in the intestine. So microorganisms are omnipresent, and if given the opportunity, they contaminate everything with which they come in contact. Microorganisms are very dangerous. This coronavirus, if it enters the body, it will affect on the lungs, it will affect on the heart, it will affect on the kidneys, etc. So, to stop microorganisms, sterilization is required. To kill the microorganisms, sterilization is required. What is the meaning of sterilization? What is the meaning? Sterilization means complete destruction or killing of microorganism. Sterilization. One word you remember, killing. Another word you can remember, destruction of microorganism, so that complete aseptic conditions are created for in vitro culturing. So how you will define sterilization? It is the killing or destruction of microorganism. What are the different methods of sterilization? Physical methods. Physical method means sterilization by drying heating, sterilization by moist heating. Have you got my point? Now sterilization by drying heating can be done by flame sterilization. Flame sterilization means to which instruments they are applicable: for forceps, for scalpels, for needles, which are not easily injured by direct heating. They are flame sterilized by dipping them in 95% alcohol. So you can flame sterilize by dipping them in 95% alcohol. Hot air sterilization, it is very easy. Glasswares are sterilized in an oven at a temperature of 160 to 180 degrees Celsius for 3 hours. Okay, it is hot air sterilization, and this temperature is sufficient to destroy all living cells and viable spores which can contaminate. It is a very easy process. It is an important question. Describe the methods of sterilization. Next, sterilization by moist heating. Second line you can see, it allows the steam to come directly in the contact with the material to be sterilized. Sterilization by moist heating, it will help to come in direct contact with the material to be sterilized, and steam is used. Okay, steam is very useful. In metropolitan cities, we take the steam bath. Steam bath help in the killing of different microorganisms, different fungal infections. Next, now I will discuss about this autoclave. It means steam under pressure. Sorry, are you visualizing? This method is used for sterilization of culture media, aqueous solution, cloths, materials which are normally destroyed by direct heating. So autoclave is used to sterilize culture media. Medium can be sterilized. Aqueous solutions can be sterilized. Cloths, biotechnological cloths, aprons, gloves can be sterilized. And for this, autoclave is used. An autoclave works like a pressure cooker in which the steam is formed. It is similar to a pressure cooker in which the steam is formed and stored under pressure for a definite period of time. You are applying pressure for a definite period. If it has a knob, autoclave has a knob to adjust the pressure, KNOB, knob. The steam under pressure has more temperature as compared to steam without pressure. Autoclave is useful to generate the pressure. Steam is developed under pressure, and this pressure has more temperature in comparison to steam without pressure. So pressure and temperature both are involved in autoclave by using autoclave. Exposure of 15 minutes at this temperature is sufficient to sterilize 20 to 50 ml medium. Only 15 minutes exposure is useful to sterilize 20 to 50 ml medium. Okay. Next is, it is a very common method. I will discuss D point. Sterilization by irradiation. Irradiations mean you are using different sources such as ultraviolet light, X-rays, gamma rays. Some of these rays are used in today in foreign countries to sterilize, to destroy viruses, microorganisms, bacteria on the physical part of the system. So, ultraviolet light, X-rays, gamma rays are sometimes used for irradiating the laboratory space, disposable materials made of plastic, wool and cotton. These plastic, wool and cotton, they are susceptible to microorganism. So to destroy that microorganism, the easy method is irradiation by different sources of light, ultraviolet, gamma rays and X-rays. Chemical method. Till now we have discussed about physical method, but in this part we will discuss about chemical method. The most common one is 70% ethanol. Ethanol is used for the sterilization, for the chemical sterilization. Next, second paragraph, second line, calcium hypochlorite are used, 9 to 10%, sodium hypochlorite, mercury chloride, silver nitrate and bromine water, hydrogen peroxide and antibiotics. You can remember 2 to 3 chemicals: calcium hypochlorite, sodium, mercury, bromine water, silver nitrate. These are some of the chemicals which can used for sterilization purposes. So this is the first part of the plant, cell and tissue culture. Thank you very much.